Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is a very late video, but I wanted to go over the books that I read in June. So I ended up reading 3 books. Whenever I did my July TBR, I had only read 1 book, and I was in, I had started this book, but I did finish it, and then I read 1 other book. So I just wanted to go over the 3 books that I read and what I rated them and kind of a little bit about them. And yeah, so here we go. The first book that I read was The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston or Poston, I'm not sure, but that's this one. I gave this 5 stars. I absolutely love this book. I am now recommending it to everyone. I even recommended it to a few people that I work with. It was just really cute, so I'm gonna read the back of it because I don't think I did that. So it says, same place, different time. Sometimes the worst day of your life happens, and when you have to figure out how to live after it. Sometimes the worst day of your life happens and you have to figure out how to live after it. For Clementine West, that means burying her head in work as a book publicist, being practical, and forgetting the silly things her beloved Aunt Annalie taught her, like living wide and chasing the moon. Clementine would rather stay grounded and keep her heart safe. For the last 6 months, she's done just that. But when she moves into her late aunt's apartment and finds a strange man standing in the kitchen, a man with kind eyes, a southern drawl, and a taste for lemon pies, her well-laid plans begin to fall apart. Because he's the type of man who, before it all, she would have fallen head over heels for, and she still might. Except he lives in the past. 7 years in the past to be exact, and she quite literally lives 7 years in his future. Her aunt always said the apartment was a pinch in time, a place where moments blended like watercolors. She also said that love is never a matter of time, but a matter of timing. And Clementine fears she may be 7 years too late. So I've just never, it is obviously dual timeline because it's 7 years in the past and 7 years in the future because has like that little futuristic like time travel thing. But I've just never read a book like this, and the story, it was like heartbreaking but also exciting, and at the end of it I was like crying because I'm not gonna give too much away, but at the end of it I was crying. It was just a really good book all around, and I really loved it. It was a really fast read for me. Actually, if you see on here, it has some black because I actually started reading it whenever we were on our cruise in June, and it got black on it from, I guess, like the smoke that was coming out of the boat. I don't really know, but yeah, it was just a very fun read, and I definitely recommend anybody to read it if you love like romance, very light and airy, and will take you on all of the feels. The second book that I read is Hooked by Emily McIntire. This is the rest of them up here. So this is the first book. It was good. It was very dark, but very good. My favorite books of all time are Haunting and Hunting Adeline, so of course I was gonna read this. My sister-in-law has been trying to get me to read this forever, and I kept pushing it off because I didn't want to read anything other than Haunting and Hunting Adeline. But we are clearing the cart, and this book was on the cart as well as the other ones, so I will be reading those as well. I'll read the back because I realized I didn't do that. So he wants revenge, but he wants her more. James has always had one agenda: destroy his enemy, Peter Michaels. But when Peter's 20-year-old daughter, Wendy, shows up in James's bar, he sees his way in. Seduce the girl and use her for his revenge. It's the perfect plan until things in James's organization begin to crumble. Suddenly he has to find the traitor in his midst, and his plan for revenge gets murkier as James starts to see Wendy as more than just a pawn in his game. Wendy has been cloistered away most of her life by her cold, wealthy father, but a spontaneous night out with friends turns into an intense and addictive love affair with the dark and brooding James. As much as she knows James is dangerous, Wendy can't seem to shake her desire for him. But as the relationship grows more heated and she learns more about the world he moves in, she finds herself unsure if she's falling for the man known as James or the monster known as Hook. So it was very... I couldn't get into it at first because it was kind of like this retelling of, obviously, Peter Pan. And I didn't know if I wanted to read that. I didn't know if I wanted Peter Pan in my head to be dark. But I ended up pushing through, and about halfway through I started to get into a little bit more, and I loved it. I couldn't get into it, and anyways, halfway through the book I started to get into it. It was really good. I didn't want to put it down. I ended up finishing it. I believe I ended up rating this 4 stars? 4 stars. Yes. Don't quote me on that. I'll put like my actual rating somewhere on the screen because I don't exactly remember, and I'm recording on my phone so I can't look. But I did really enjoy this book, and I am looking forward to reading the other ones. And then the third one that I read was on my iPad. I use this as my like Kindle or like e-reading thing. It is dead because right now I'm currently in the middle of reading a paperback book, so I don't keep this charged because it is an iPad mini and it is kind of old, so I don't really do anything else but read on this. But I'm gonna input a picture somewhere. The book that I read is Death's Obsession. I had about 2 or 3 days left in the month of June, and I wanted to get a quick book. So I went to my TBR list and I organized them, shortest amount of pages all the way to the most amount of pages, and I just happened to choose this one because I didn't want one that was only like 30 pages, but I also didn't want one that was like 300 pages. So I chose Death's Obsession. I didn't know anything about it. I had seen something on TikTok. It was very interesting. I didn't really like it. I rated it 3 stars, and I don't really ever rate books that low. The spice was good. The story behind it was okay. It wasn't my favorite, and it was just very, like, I don't know. It just wasn't my cup of tea. There was nothing for me to grasp onto. Like, it was a lot of just the repeating the same stuff. There were a couple things that kind of intrigued me, but for the most part, it was kind of just repeating the same thing over and over. So I don't have like what it was about, like the summary. I'll put it in, again, somewhere over here. I'll screenshot it and put it. And then I'll also link the book down below if you want to read it or if you want to give it a try. Definitely, I would say so. It's a little bit more on the darker side, and it's, yeah. It's very different than what I usually read, but it was really good. It was good. So that's why I rated it 3 stars, is because it was a lot of repeating the same stuff, but the spice in it was really good. It was a really short book, so it was a really fast read. It took me 2 days to read it, and I finished it on on the last day of June. So it was a great way to like round out my June, and that was the 3 books that I read. I currently am still working on my July TBR, like getting through that. I did finish 1 book. I'm about halfway done through my 2nd book. I have 1 more book after that, and then I'm going to try and read a thriller book, but it's almost halfway through the month, and halfway through the month, I'll probably be through my 2nd book, so I think I'm doing really good. I did start my summer class last week, so I'm also going through that, and just really finding time to read and enjoy myself. But yeah, so these are the 2 physical books that I read. Again, I'll put Death's Obsession somewhere over here. But yeah, thank you so much for watching my video. I'm sorry I'm not one of those people who read a lot, so this video is probably a lot shorter than other people's videos, and it's my first like wrap up of the month. So if there's something that you want to see that I didn't do, or you have any suggestions, please let me know, because I'm always looking for ways to make my videos better and more fun and entertaining, and yeah. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.